All right, we're going to continue with what we were doing yesterday with the three-dimensional figures. So what kind of figures did we do yesterday? Do you remember? Give me some names. Pyramid, cone. Yeah. No, we never said, well, we said cube, but that's not one of our things. Oblique, prism, cone, cylinder, right? We did cylinder. So we did all those things, okay? The next thing we're going to do are things that you probably have not heard of. I'm sure you've heard of a cone. I'm sure you've heard of a prism and a cylinder and things like that, all right? The stuff we're going to do today, not so much, all right? I'll tell you what. Let me get the book out so I don't miss anything, because I did not put this in my notes. Just because the drawings are really weird. There's no way I could draw them. Let me... 1-7, right? I should have had this ready. Sorry about that. Shh. It's not free time just because I'm looking through my book. Put your thumbs down, okay? I don't need that. So the reason I don't have it in my notes because these are really difficult to draw, and I am not even going to attempt to draw them by hand. So I grabbed them off the internet, and there we go. So let's talk about this word right here. It's called polyhedron. Whoops, I gotta put my pen settings correct. All right, here, try this again. So it's polyhedron, Hedron. These are a little different, and I've got some pictures I'll put up here in a second. Right? They're a little different than your cylinder, your cone, your what was the other things we did? Prism. Pyramid, right? We did pyramid as well, right? I'll just read the definition. I'm not even going to write it down because there's no way you're going to remember it, but I'll just refer to it, okay? It says a polyhedron is a closed surface, while the other things were closed surfaces, made up of polygonal. What does that mean? It means polygons, right? It's made up of polygons, and each polygon is called the face of the polyhedron. It probably means nothing to you, but let's go to this. Let's find the first polyhedron. Let's do this one. Let's see. Which one do I want to do? Yeah, let's do this one right here. All right. And yesterday I had it all prepared and I just scrolled down, but this will be all right. All right, this right here is one type of polyhedron. All right, it's got a special name. What's the special name of this? Thank you. It's right in front of you. All right, you're saying all these words, and this right here, it says a tetrahedron. All right. It is a pyramid, actually. This is one of the things that is the same as what we did yesterday. All right, so this is one of them. It's the only one that's the same as what we did yesterday. Okay, the prefix tetra means four. Okay, hedron means it's a polyhedron. And again, the definition said it's a closed surface made up of polygons. So every one of these surfaces is a polygon. All right, in this case, it's a triangle. Every one of these surfaces, or they call it a face, right? So the face is the actual surface. Here's the edge where they come together. Where the points come together, that's a vertex. So you got a vertex here, 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 and here, right? You don't even have to worry about that stuff. I'm not going to quiz you on that, okay? The only thing that's going to be on a quiz or a test is I'm going to put a picture on there, and you just have to tell me what it is, all right? This actually, if I put this picture on here, you could say it's a triangular pyramid or a right triangular pyramid, right? But this particular one can also be called a tetrahedron. Tetra meaning what? 4. So if you look at it, how many faces are there? Remember, this is three-dimensional, and we're trying to put it on a two-dimensional surface. So there's some things you might not be able to see, but you do see this one. That's one, face. This is a second face. I can't write this I'm in white right now. You can barely see it. That's 3. So are there only 3 faces to this? No, there's one on the other side, right? On the opposite side, on the back side, there's 4 of them, okay? So there's 4 faces, which means it's a tetrahedron, all right? Some of the prefixes we're going to use are the same. This one's a little different, all right? When we did polygons, we didn't say a tetragon. What did we say when it was 4 sides? You remember that? It wasn't a square, it wasn't a rectangle. Anybody remember? It's a quad. Quad what? Quadrilateral. That's right. Okay. So when it was just a two-dimensional object with 4 sides, we called it a quadrilateral. This time they used the prefix tetra instead of quad, even though there are 4. Tetra can mean 4 as well. Everybody with me? So that is a polyhedron. It's a special type of polyhedron. It's a polyhedron with 4 faces. And it's called a what? Tetrahedron. What we're going to do is we're going to list several type of polyhedrons. And we're going to name them by how many faces they have. Faces means the surfaces. How many surfaces, all right, do they have? This has got 4 of them. Well, what if you had, and we're going to show some examples after I write these down. All right, so I'm going to write these down first. So I'm going to write down faces. Again, that's how many polygon surfaces there are. All right, and then we're going to write the name of it. So there's not one with 3. Okay, 4 is the smallest one. So 4, what do we call a 4 without looking? No, this is polyhedrons. These are polyhedrons. So if I have 4 faces, what do we call it? We just talked about it 2 seconds ago. It's a tetrahedron. Okay, it's a tetrahedron. This word hedron is going to be used every time. The only thing that changes is the prefix. And we know a lot of these prefixes already. So what if I had 5 faces? What do you think the name of it is going to be? What is it? Quad? Quad means 4, and then we already got 4 right here. Penta, right? Penta, a pentagon, right? Penta is the prefix that means what? 5. And what? How do we end this? Penta what? Hedron. And a pentahedron is a lot different than just a pentagon. A pentagon is 2-dimensional, all right? These are what? 3-dimensional, all right? 6. What is 6? What's the prefix for 6? You got to know these. You got to know that your prefixes for the other stuff. Polyhedron just means many. That includes everything. Hexa. Hexa is the prefix for 6. Hexahedron. You got to know your prefixes. You remember what it was for 7? Hepta. You got to memorize these. Hepta. And then you just write what? Hedron at the end. All right? That's easy. Again, know your prefixes. All right? If you know those, you can do these. Very simple. Because I could ask you a question. Name a polygon with 5 faces. What would you call it? A pentahedron. All right? So know the words, know what it means. All right? 8. What's 8? Octa. Right. Octahedron. 9. It's the same prefix as we used with a polygon. It's a nona, N-O-N-A, nonahedron. It's kind of like 9, a little bit, but it's an O instead of an I. Okay, nonahedron. And then 10 should be an easy prefix for you. Deca, okay? Decade, right? So deca, what? Hedron. Everything's a hedron on these, right? They skip 11, then they go to 12, which we, dodeca. Dodeca. That's the prefix for 12, and then the end of it, hedron. One more. This is a weird one. I would have never known this unless I taught this lesson. It's an icosa. Icosa. What? Hedron. Again, this is one, icosa, I probably would have never heard before, But look, penta, hexa, hepta, octa, all those, deca especially, are all prefixes that we should all know. All right, 12's a little weird, dodeca, but learn it. Okay, this is really weird, icosahedron, or icosa, depends how you want to pronounce it. We'll say icosahedron. All right, so know the names of it, know which ones they go to. All right, we just got a couple minutes. Let's put a few of these on here. Let's put. Oops, I gotta grab it like this. Oh, what am I doing? There we go. Whoops. And let's scooch this up a little bit so I can scooch this down. Now, look, they split this one. It's not always going to be split like that. Okay, they just split it in half. But if I put that top and bottom together, how many faces would be on here? Well, that would be what? That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top, and what? 4 on the bottom. Remember, if I put it together, they just split it. I probably could have picked a better picture without it being split. But if I put them together, how many faces do I have? I got 8 faces. So what would I call this thing? An octa what? Hedron. Octa. It's not triangular or anything. It's just octahedron. Okay, let's do another one. Why are we packing up? We're not done. Look at this one. There's one that's not split. Look at this one. Oh, they put the name there for you. Shh. Look at it. They tell you the name dodeca. What does dodeca mean? 12. Can you count? It's almost like a soccer ball, but it's a soccer ball with straight edges around it. Okay. Oh, yeah, right. Yep, exactly. You ever see that when you're a kid? Right? They call it something. I don't know. Comes up. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Looks like it anyway. Let's count how many sides we got. Look, I got this one right here. Right? I got 1. I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But is that all there are? No, there's that many on the other side as well. So how many do we have all together? We got 12 faces, which makes it a what? Dodecahedron. Right? So what am I going to do on the quiz and test? I'm just going to give you a what? A shape. I'm going to give you a picture. Okay? I'm going to put the picture on there, and you just have to tell me what it is. That's it. It's just vocabulary. Everybody got that? All right. That's it. You do have homework. Is it on RenWeb? It's always on RenWeb. It's 1 to 32, pages 42 and 43. So it's pages 42 and 43, 42, 43. It seems like a lot, but you're not really doing any math. All you're doing is looking at stuff and telling what it is. Yep, you got 2 extra days to do this. So there it is. It's section 1-7. It's on your lesson plans. I gave it to you on Monday. We are exactly on pace this week with the lesson plans. I stayed right on track. All right, make sure that's done for homework for all 5 of you that are left.